It has been 2 really heart-opening and invigorating days here at Dominican University in California. We were hosted here for our 3rd annual conference of the MIT Global Humanities Initiative.
We often talk about a crisis in the humanities with the concern that the larger society does not take the humanities seriously. And our response to that was to say, well, are we in the humanities in part responsible for this?
The day started with John Wilson, who basically said, you guys have to solve it, right? Of course, it's the big challenge that we face collectively, and no one, and also no group, can fix that alone.
This is a significant problem, especially in American higher education. You have too many people that try to become wealthy. They're not following their heart. And Mark Twain said, the 2 most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why. We need people who are living a call-answered life, who they have such a passion, such a drive, that you can just stand back and say, wow, she was born to do what she's doing.
John calls this a second-day mindset. The mindset of having transcended all the structures you have been socialized into and having really understood what is my mission and my purpose here on Earth. And I think that overall is the best descriptor also for the MIT Global Humanities Initiative.
Knowing who you are and knowing what the future is that you try to create. Those are really the critical questions that in the age of AI are going to be at the very center of all learning and all leadership development. And that's what we are exploring here together.
So many of us are here because of liberal arts education.
Humans are capable of doing extraordinary things. We have foreclosed a lot of that way of thinking by the way we're educating students, but we envision a world where, on the contrary, we'll be training students to think big and give them the resources to rethink the world around them.
So what we wanted to highlight this time was 2 types of glass ceilings of our universities and our education. One glass ceiling is between humanities and STEM, because it is a moment, it is an age of STEM. And our curricula in the humanities should think about, like, how can we open the humanities inside out to serve this historical moment and really become kind of the mirror and also the tool of the challenges we are facing.
AI can implement the outcome, but we have to be the ones to envision it.
We need to bring in the deep understanding of all the different perspectives and also the emerging complexity that the situation that we face right now is going to change, and we don't know exactly how, and therefore we need to access our not knowing, we need to access our discomfort. We need to access our inner sources of non-action, aka stillness, pausing, in order to allow new responses to an evolving situation to emerge.
The other glass ceiling is between the humanities and business, with cultural values versus economic values.
That is scalable.
We live in a world that tends to think there's a world of business and there's a separate world of humanities.
To put yourself in a category.
And the goal of the conference was to say, what if we actually think of knowledge as inherently something that cuts across the boundaries that we have created, rethinking how we think about humans, human connections, including economic activity, but not exclusively so, and what happens if we take the tremendous work that's been done in the field of economics, particularly with work with data collection, building huge databases, now of course with AI, and ask, how do we rethink aspects of the humanities as well, and what do we learn by bringing these together?
You're the expert, you curate that.
Could we teach a computer how to recognize and appraise feng shui?
And see if this collaboration between humanities and the sciences.
One of the biggest challenges that explains a lot of the unwanted futures we are currently producing, whether that be bad food and nutrition, environmental damage, migration, war, violence, is the challenge of finding our individual purpose in life. If you have found that, you usually know what to do well, but also to do good in the world. So the baseline really for the MIT Global Humanities Initiative is in many ways the question of legacies for the future. What do we want to take forward to shape the future based on this rich treasure trove of human experience? And relate that to the question of finding meaning and mission in uncertain times.